When one considers Egyptian mysteries and legends, the word ancient usually pops up in there. Mummies, pyramids, pharaohs, and their cursed tombs. We've all heard something of the sort. As fascinating as all that is, it's in the past. Modern Egyptians have come up with their own legends, those that have more bearing on people living there today. And more often than not, these tales are just as spooky as the ones from yesteryear. Monsters that enforce morality, seductresses that will steal men away, haunted buildings, and more dwell in the minds of many an Egyptian storyteller. So let's see if any of these whispers can hold a candle to the classics. Hello horror heads, and welcome back to the scariest channel on YouTube, Top 5 Scary Videos. I'm your horror host, Keegan Hughes, and today we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 scary urban legends from Egypt. Before we get started, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more hellish hints. Perfect, let's begin. Coming in at number 5, we've got the haunted Rashti building. Every city seems to have a building like this, but not all of them end up condemned in the same fashion. You know the ones, apartments and hotels so full of ghost stories and phantoms that no sane person would go near it. Children tell their friends the stories, and adults stay pretty hush as to not attract suspicion. And of course, there's always an urban explorer or two who are willing to brave the unknown for a thrill. The haunted Rashti building is an old apartment complex in Alexandria. Some call it the Jinn apartment, because it's full of spirits. For the past 5 decades, it has been boarded up and shut down completely. Nobody in or out. There's even big tarps covering the outer facade, adding to the ghastly silhouette. What should be an average apartment building is now a thing of legend. It's been locked up so long, though, it's hard to say whether the building is actually haunted or if it was just some over-superstitious thought from over half a century ago. Nobody knows why the ghostly qualities are the way they are, but there are many theories. Back when it was a functioning apartment building, the tenants would experience all sorts of craziness. One tale is of an apartment dweller who turned their taps on one day and found a nasty surprise. Instead of water flowing forth from the faucet, bright red blood poured into the drain. Others claimed to hear the sounds of screaming throughout the day and night. Some heard pained men, and others said they could hear terrified women scream. It's speculated that these cries come from the ghosts of laborers who were mistreated or even tortured by their supervisors. In the end, there's no solid proof of any of this happening, but I don't see anyone venturing into this old building anytime soon. But hey, if you're a skeptic, why not go grab some footage, eh? Coming in at number 4, we've got Abu Rega Masluka. The classic boogeyman stand-in. Every culture's got one of these. Western culture has the boogeyman himself, Spanish culture has El Coco, Britain has Spring-Heeled Jacket, and Egypt has Abu Rega Masluka. This monster is a favorite of parents everywhere. Those raising young children often lean on this monster in order to keep their little squires in line. The tale of the boogeyman is a classic, an unknowable, non-specific monster who will come and take you away if you're not behaving. The Egyptian version is extra terrifying though, because his body is totally burned all over. Kinda like Freddy Krueger minus the stripes and the claw. Just as willing to teleport around and haunt dreams though. Apparently he is made from the remains of a child who didn't listen to his parents and ended up being burned alive by accident. Often if a child is acting up, their parents will tell you, smarten up, or he'll come and get you. This is usually enough to scare the little rapscallion stiff. See, if they don't clean up their act, this terrifying legend will notice, and once you've caught his attention, there is no going back. Later that night, he'll slink through the darkness to the child's room. Maybe the smell of charred flesh will alert the kid to his presence, or maybe the sound of him shuffling in the night. Either way, it's curtains. Abu Rega Masluka loves to steal these little misbehaving miscreants and boil them for supper. So listen to your parents, kids, or this urban legend will make a bubbling soup out of you. Coming in at number 3, we've got El Nadaja. Another classic legend would be that of the siren. Beautiful women who dwell in bodies of water, singing bewitching songs and luring men to their death. They manage to prey on the fear of men and women alike. Men who are afraid that they'll be bewitched and end up dead, and women who fear that evil seductresses will lure their husbands and sons away. El Nadaja is a uniquely Egyptian take on this monstrous melody maker. Originating from the Nile Delta, people who walked along the river would claim that they saw a mysterious, beautiful woman in the bushes or the nearby fields. During the day, she dwells in her underwater cavern, but at night she ascends to the surface and searches for victims. She'll call out a man's name, chanting it over and over, which more often than not will lure her chosen prey to his doom. No matter what he's doing, he'll drop everything and walk over to El Nadaja in a trance. This usually results in him walking straight into the river until he drowns. Forget swimming, he'll be too distracted by the siren song. But wait, there's more. Some say that El Nadaja sometimes falls in love with the man that she's calling. When this happens, she'll take him down to the underworld and marry him. For a while, they live in marital bliss, whatever that means in an underwater cavern, but invariably she'll kill her husband. After committing matricide, she'll bury his bones in her cavern to ensure that her secrets never make it out to the world at large. What do you think? Worth it? Coming in at number 2, we've got El Salawa. Originally from the times of the pharaohs, these wolf-jackal-fox hybrids have many stories to their name. They're said to live in the mountains, deserts, and other remote places of Egypt. It's not often that one will come across this majestic beast. This is for the best though, as they have no problem attacking and eating people who act in ways they deem unacceptable. Back in ancient Egypt, they were said to attack anyone who attempted to trespass in a temple or graveyard. The legend evolved over the years and took on a new form in modern times. It's said there was a man who accidentally married El Salawa. He lived with his wife and her sister, and every night they would leave the house for a strange period of time. Little did he know that his wife was actually transforming into this beast and heading out to dig up graves. Her sister would help her find human remains to eat in order to satisfy her hunger without killing anyone. The man ended up following the duo one night and learned their terrible secret. Thankfully, the wife spared his life for the sake of their children and soon after disappeared forever. Some say that she's still out there, digging up graves and attacking those who would trespass on holy land. Around 20 years ago, people in New Cairo reported seeing a creature like El Salawa and were so scared that they wouldn't go outside after dark. I wonder how those kids are doing. And finally, at number 1, we've got El Ghoul. Ghosts, goblins, and of course, ghouls. If you've ever read or watched Tokyo Ghoul, you'll actually have a pretty good idea of what to expect here. Humanoid creatures with one red eye who love to feast on human flesh. Often these beasts can transform into other creatures, usually taking the form of vicious animals or bloodthirsty devils. They hunt the streets at night, searching for their next unlucky victim. Sure, you can kill ghouls, but it takes a lot of effort. They have superhuman strength and agility, and even if you do land a blow on them, you have to be careful. Often when a ghoul is struck with a sword, they will beg for you to hit them again. They claim that this is to put them out of their misery. Any experienced ghoul slayer will know better though. If you strike a ghoul with one deadly blow, it will die. But if you go back and hit it again, it will come back to life and eat you. Double tap does not apply here. Knowledge is power, right? Although I would imagine it would be hard to resist going all out on a beast that ate one of your comrades. Fighting monsters is serious business. I think the big takeaway from all these urban legends is don't go out at night. I mean, fair, but nighttime is just so fun. What did you think of the list? Would you risk running into one of these urban legends to take a lovely moonlit walk? Can you think of any other similar urban legends from other places? What's the scariest urban legend you know of? Make sure you let me know down in the comments. Speaking of comments, let's take a look at some of your more speedy ones from the top 5 scary horror movie urban legends. Simon Bridge says the terrifying urban legend of the reckless parents who left their 3-year-old daughter in a holiday apartment only to go back and discover she was gone. It's whispered among faceless men that if you say Jerry 3 times into a mirror at midnight, a face appears that you can't resist smacking. This one shocks me the most. Honestly, I think everyone needs to smack a face every once in a while. If we can all do it to a ghostly apparition instead of some stranger at a bar, we might find ourselves closer to world peace. Kylo Rin 235 says, I want to make a movie about the Dangus, the evil troll that hides your keys, phone, remote, and wallet. I don't think the general public's ready for a movie so relatably scary. Chelsea says, I really like the idea of using an urban legend in a movie. I think it really gives a sense of reality to the movie, and for me it would rack up the scare factor. Not saying I believe in every urban legend, but there are people who do believe in urban legends, and so I think for what it's worth, it would enhance the movie-going experience. I agree, Chelsea. As long as it's done thoughtfully and isn't just shoehorned in. Eddie Daniels says the Crooked Man would make a good film. Absolutely. I'm just waiting for the Conjuring verse to give the Crooked Man his own feature. And Noodle Monkey 15 says, man door, hand hook, car door. But who was phone? And that's all the time we have for today. Before I slip into something less comfortable, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more international acclaim. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hey, if you're a skeptic, why not go grab some footage, eh? Coming in at number 4, we've got Abu Rega Masluka. Masluka? Let's call it Masluka. The haunted Rashti building is an old apartment complex in Alexandria. Some call it the Jinn apartment, you know, because it's full of spirits. Oh, that works on so many levels. Oh, wow. Way to go, Keegan. Simon Bridge says the terrifying urban legend of the reckless parents who left their 3-year-old daughter in a holiday apartment to go back and